didn't Gabriel appear to the Aztecs?
Well, who's to say that he didn't?
Well, there'd be a book, surely. It would make sense to have the book, and then they wouldn't be doing all this terrible killing. They'd be...
The coming of Angel Gabriel was not the only criteria.
Yeah, but we do...
Coming of Angel Gabriel is not the only criteria by which you judge whether Islam came to a nation. There were prophets that were sent, there were messengers that were sent. It could have been even by association that nations learned of the religion. We're not saying that. But what I'm saying is there was guidance for people, as there is guidance for people available today. It's whether or not people can want that guidance, whether they want to look into it.
So, I mean, I could follow the American Indian religion, really. It's still the same.
You could, but the criteria for God, does it appeal to your rationality? That would be the question. And if it does appeal to your inherent rationality, then that is God. For example, the claim that the Quran puts forward in Surah Ikhlas, that He is God one. Yeah? The independent. He does not beget, nor is He begotten, and there is none like Him. These were the verses that were revealed when somebody questioned who is God. So that's our criteria. And it appeals, every single step of these appeals to the rational, logical mind. If somebody comes and starts saying, oh, God is somebody that eats and drinks, somebody would start thinking, but then if they eat and drink, then that person excretes as well.
Yeah, okay, I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that.
But some Muslims believe God has a shin.
But let me
You'll have to speak to them, isn't it?
God, for me, I mean, yeah, you can read a verse in the Quran and that won't make any sense to you, or you can just know God exists.
What we're saying is, if you believe God exists, but He's revealed a book...
Yeah, but you don't have to read the book to know God exists.
No, I agree with you. That's an innate disposition to believe that a God exists. Now, to know what...
God, that's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But then to take that forward and say, okay, what does... those questions, what am I doing here? How do I live my life?
I'd ask God.
Well, how?
I don't know.
How would you know?
You're saying that should be enough.
Well, who knows? Who knows? God can do whatever it wants.
That's fine, but when you say, oh, that's enough for us, but then when you actually need God's help in answering basic questions of your life...
you pray to God, right?
No, but if you're saying that should be enough for everyone, that's fine. But let's say that's enough for me, I believe in God and I'm done. Then when I have basic questions about my existence and I need guidance and I need help, and these are metaphysical questions that no one can answer, surely God should be able to answer and help you with the guidance.
Maybe quiet meditation might bring some revelation.
Literally thousands of people who know about the true self.
What's my purpose in life? That's something that someone can answer for you individually.
No, when it comes to purpose, it's an idea. Purpose is an idea.
No, but even if it's an idea, what is my purpose in life? Why am I here?
It's up to you. It's your idea. It's your choice.
But then, yeah, on the one hand, you say God is creating me, but then you don't necessarily need God's help or answering that. Surely, if there's a God and you believe in Him, there should be some guidance from Him to answer these basic questions for yourself.
Well, first of all, He said that, but in terms of the guidance, again, there are literally, for those big questions, so-called enlightened beings, you know what I mean by that, who can answer these questions. Because the biggest question I suggest to you, right, or for you, obviously, is not does God exist, what is God, it's what is I? What is self? You are the one perceiving reality. You exist in some way. That's more fundamentally true than knowledge of God.
100%. No, but I would say something else in opposition to that. If we agree that consciousness is collective and we are all part of this shared existence together and there's some uniformity with us as a species, then surely the one that's created that uniformity and that existence, we can't turn to that being. So his job is just to create, and then he washes his hand of that and says, now you're by yourself.
That was the assumption here. Like you said, universal consciousness, essentially togetherness, which I agree with, by the way, I believe.
Yes.
Cool. Right. But then you jumped and said, surely it was created. That's an assumption that consciousness was created.
But you're also making an assumption. You're saying purpose is subjective, but we're making the argument that purpose is objective. That's where the difference. Right? Yeah. So God has sent us here to know and worship Him. So that's the objective
If there's an objective connectivity between all of us, that we all share some sort of objective togetherness in terms of immorality, things that we find immoral, togetherness, the way that we existed. There's an objective existence that we have, a connection, yet the answers to all of our questions are going to be subjective. That's in complete antithesis of each other.
Answers come secondary. The most actual truth, what we know for sure, I suggest to you, is we exist in whatever way we exist.
This is happening. This is the great vision.
This is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
This moment is
This is
happening.
what we know.
That's
This is
the blanket. That's the constant through every moment. And then after that, thoughts come. But hold on, how did I get here? Why am I here? Why do I look different to you? Those are other things. They are all literally subjective. They are false ideas.
Yes.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if we're talking about truth, they are ideas. Hence, even within Islam, as you know, not everyone believes the same thing, the exact same thing, right? Christianity, not everyone believes the exact same thing because of thoughts and ideas.
Even the word truth, like there's a truth. You know, something can't have two truths, and 2 + 2 is 4. There can't be two truths. So a fundamental question that we exist, we're here. Why are we here? How have we come into being? Surely that answer has to be a universal truth and one answer for that
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
How can that?
That has to be objective as well.
Yeah, because look, we're all existing. We're all human beings. We've been fashioned in this way. That's all the same, and that's one truth. Yet the other reasons for our existence of why we come here, that now becomes individualistic.
I can tell you the reason that we exist. I'm going to reveal the answer right now. Right?
We already revealed the answer.
This is the reason we exist, right? I'm going to ask you a simple question. I'm not trying to trick you.
There you go.
What's the opposite of existence?
Non-existence.
But do you agree? Yeah, non-existence, right?
Yeah.
Does non-existence exist?
Are you asking that is non-existence a tangible?
In any way, does non-existence exist? In any way?
Rug puller.
Does it exist?
What is nothing something? That's the philosophical question that Kant and others have argued.
Say it like that,
before. Does non-existence exist? That in itself is up for interpretation. There's not a given answer for that either.
So you're not sure?
No,
What's your question?
what he's saying
The question is very clear, and
Yeah.
he got it. I'm going to assume, I might be wrong now, you're not Muslim. You are Muslim. Okay, I respect that then. You're religious, and you said it. Because I'm sure you know, bro, you're clearly intelligent.
No, non-existence.
By definition, non-existence doesn't exist. You know that. I
That's
don't put words in your mouth though. By
No, but-
definition, it's non-existence. I'm giving you the answer.
Right.
It's non-existence.
Okay, so what's the point?
No, but do you agree though? If you
No,
don't agree, then we have
no,
to
because
You have no choice but to exist.
we're saying
that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
we're saying there's 3 types of existences: something that can't exist, something which is dependent, and something which is independent. These are the 3 types of existences.
Cool. So you kind of answered me then. So non-existence doesn't exist then.
We're saying something that can't exist, like a squared circle.
Yeah, but
Is that what you're talking about?
No, but therefore, I'm fine with those three things. But
Yeah.
therefore, so-called non-existence isn't a thing.
It doesn't. If it falls within those 3 criteria,
But it doesn't, does it?
And it doesn't.
then does it?
The point is, I don't know what. Okay,
That's fine. We agree with that.
The point is.
What's the point?
What I suggest to you both, to everyone in the whole world, right, is there can only be existence because non-existence doesn't exist. Meaning there can only be something. Now you two will of course say that thing is God. Cool. God always exists. Yes. I'm not putting words in your mouth. Yeah.
No, we would say that it's independent existence. We wouldn't just say it's mere existence.
That's also fine, but it always exists though, yes?
Yes, yes.
Independently.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So there's always a foundation to existence. You say God. I believe so too. Okay? I don't mind using the word God even. The issue is for me personally is when you put the ideas of it speaks, it differentiates between people, it has ideas. Those are all limited human things.
Hang on, that's true of us and how we exist. Different skin colors, different heights, different genders, different.
Can I just finish, please?
different
Sorry.
culture. Sorry.
This might answer you, yeah? With respect, sorry. Because what I'm saying essentially is for God to change in any way, meaning there's no universe, now creates a universe. Yeah, that change, that's not God to me. Change, for something to change, there has to be a foundation of the change. Okay? God to me cannot be something that changes in any way or changes things. That's literally a limitation on God. So what I believe is, with respect to religions, yeah, you can use the label God, but they teach the people incorrectly, my humble opinion.
You just said I don't mind believing in God. If you believe in God, what do you think is the purpose of God?
No. If I say it like that, then what I meant by that is I don't mind using the label God. That's what I meant. I don't believe God is an entity. No, not at all.
Then what then?
Huh?
What is the ultimate? What is the
You ready?
ultimate?
Everything.
What does that mean?
Literally what I said.
that everything is God.
In the same way, I'll use this analogy for you too, like I used to talk over there. So, let's say it's a wooden chair, wooden table, wooden knife and plate, right? You can say there's a wooden chair, wooden table, etc., right? But that's just labeling, obviously. Really, all there is to the substance of the objects is the wood. Okay, so the wood is the chair, the wood is the table, the wood is the knife and fork. Yeah? So in the same way, I'm suggesting to you that the substance, so to speak, of reality itself is the same thing. You can call it whatever. Some people call it energy, of course. Brahman, I'm sure you know the term Brahman. Source, the source. Consciousness. There's another word, but God. Yeah, the other word.
I think these are metaphysical questions because then you're looking at the nature of God. If He existed, there's a power, something that's created us. There has to be something that's overseeing the creation of humanity because we have these commonalities with each other. Then it's about whether you assign that deity or that thing with certain powers and not with certain powers, with the ability to do certain things. And
You're separating, brother.
Can I throw something on this? This moment we're having now, what Tiger's probably, I might be wrong here, hinting at, is that source is creating and sustaining this moment, right? It is the foundation of this existence. Without it, there would be nothing. But it is not something in the distance when we die. It's here now as the engine of this. It is omnipotent. It can create flesh, universes. It has no limit. It can't. There's no effort, and this is it.
And that's the most important thing. Everyone saying yes, no effort.
But you're saying how is this moment coming to being then?
It is always. It
hasn't always been.
No, the same way you say God always.
It always is.
So this moment always is as well.
The moment is eternal. Everything moves within it.
Exactly.
This is the metaphysical understanding.
And that's clear we've been experienced.
But you both believe in the prime mover. So if two people are fighting,
the what? Prime mover.
Yeah, you believe in the prime. Yeah. So if two people are fighting, would you say it's God fighting God?
I wouldn't use that term. No.
No, but it is technically God versus God, isn't it?
No, not technically. Remember, it's not that is God. It's just a label. I don't put too much emphasis.
Okay, then is it the God label versus the God label?
You could use that label if you wanted to, yes. If you chose to use that God that label to make a particular point.
So then,
also just say, closer you are to the revelation of God, the purer it is.
If we then say one person raped another person,
there is no fight.
Can a person then say the God label raped that God label?
They could say that, but one of them will still go to jail.
It's so pure, it's uncorrupted.
And would you say it's the God label going to jail?
It is.
No, but like I said, I wouldn't say that.
But there's still two guys.
But you said you wouldn't say God, but you'd say the God label.
It's all about situation.
It is part of that, yeah.
Don't assume for 1 second that I go outside say, hey, everyone, you're God, go God. Go on the bus, hello God.
All is new.
Yeah, that would be.
But you believe everyone's God, isn't it?
No, like I said, it's one label.
Label.
I don't know.
We are all that one so-called thing. These are labels, okay? And one word I don't have any problem with calling is God.
Tell me more about this.
Did you say your mind is
also
are you Indian?
Pakistan.
I think the other thing I will say is,
so you might be aware of terms like Brahman and that.
I'm aware of it, but that's from Hinduism, yeah.
I was asking you, you're aware of it.
Yeah, that's why I said
because God is a
because the Pakistanis, they don't believe in
terms,
which essentially means that everything
this is open for interpretation if we were to leave it to
the ultimate reality is Brahman, essentially.
But if we were to defer that to God,
I understand.
That would be an objective, someone that gives us the answers. And surely we need a third-party universal being that can give us answers that are applicable to all of us. So that everyone will come to their own conclusion and some will come to one.
Oh yeah, well for one,
I hear that.
I mean, what about the Buddhist monk that
sits in the cave and has a union with God?
I believe
Hindu has samadhi.
But we're not saying that person doesn't have some sort of...
You say God is outside of existence.
But the way that is meant to be and the way that is revealed...
Well, I would say, when he created it, he's independent from his creation.
I remember what I was going to say now, sorry, it's come back to me. Right. So, again, don't let me put words in your mouth, of course. You would say God is the most powerful, all-powerful? How do you say?
Yeah, God he has power over all, yeah.
The revelation power over all. The last revelation, that is fine.
So not the most powerful.
You're going to ask that question about can he create a rock that even he can't pick up?
or union.
No way.
That's
So, but that's interesting that you're being defensive because you're assuming what I'm going to say.
No, because I've heard that so many times. Yeah. No, it's not defensive. It's just
It wasn't the best word, but you're still assuming that what I'm going to say. So,
yeah, probably.
because if we're talking about truth here, I need to know if that's true. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah.
So is to you God the most powerful?
Yeah, God has power over all. That's the semantic.
Yeah, but that's not the same as the most powerful. Is God the most powerful?
Because I hear other
Okay,
down here.
let's just say yes.
Bro, honestly, I'm not trying to trick you.
That's why I said that the words that I would use is God has power over all. You're saying, is God all powerful? I'm saying I would rather say God is power. He has power over
You're saying
all.
rather, okay, but is it also true that God is the most powerful?
Okay.
No, okay, but is it? I don't want to put words in your mouth, honestly.
I don't.
You don't
Well,
know?
we believe that. Yeah, God is all powerful. Okay.
So God is all powerful. Okay.
Intoxicated.
So I put it to you, one reason why that can't be true in your understanding of God,
No, I hear
respect of
that.
course,
But these are old
is that
pagan practices.
again, probably.
But that doesn't mean paganism is wrong, right?
Well, I'm saying that some of the practices
Those
you
mites,
say with us
would you
are
say
associated with these kind of
they
practices. For example,
have
meditation,
God's
some
power?
associate them more with Buddhism and Hinduism.
The mites.
Doesn't mean there's
Do they have God's
Yeah,
power?
I know it sounds weird, but literally that's what I'm asking you.
See, it's interesting
What do you
when
mean?
say this, because
Okay, I'll say that question.
went over
Actually,
there
that's a
someone
trap.
over there, they'd be like,
Sorry,
oh, no.
You better want to be you as a person.
Am I fair in saying that I would get
You as a person,
response?
are you using God's power right now to stand up?
if you say spirituality,
God has created laws,
in our religion,
and it's those laws that govern the universe. And yes, I am a result of those laws and those processes that God's put in place. Yes.
Okay, cool. That wasn't my question, and you.
So unfortunately, this is what I'm saying. It's best to read
I'm
the
asking
sources at
you
the
straight
start
to your
rather than
face.
judge it by people.
Are you
What I'm
using
saying is that
God's power right now to stand up, or is it your power, your energy, so to speak?
But it's definitely
Yeah, but
power.
that's where I'd ask you. What do you mean by God's power?
Well, God has power.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
That's a misunderstanding.
Is this your power?
I
or
don't
God's power?
misunderstand the Sufi.
No, that's a misunderstanding.
Well, God's created me, and God's put that ability within me.
Okay, this is interesting. I feel like you, with respect, I feel like you're
We moved
not
to
wanting
metaphysics
to
and then
go
we
with
sort of
me.
found a commonality.
I feel like you're holding back a little bit. I feel like it. I might be wrong, okay? But just to say, let's me seem like you're being completely sincere, and this is literally what you believe. Therefore, it still helps my argument. You're not sure if you are
would be
separate from God.
persecuted in some places. So now I
Right.
understand.
So the thing is, because I'm not giving answers that you want, that means that you have to assume whether I'm sincere, whether I'm not sincere, or whether I'm separate from God or not separate from God. You asked me a question, I answered that question. Just because it wasn't to your liking, or just because it didn't fit that point, doesn't necessarily mean that somehow it's wrong. Do you agree with that?
No one said it's wrong. I even said I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I said that, bro. So I'm asking you again. I'm saying it again.
I've already answered
I
it.
know, I get that.
No, my point is you don't know. You don't know if you're using God's power or your power to stand up right now. Which is interesting.
I'm telling you, when you asked, you said, okay, God's all powerful. God's created me, God's created the universe, God's put that ability within me that I can stand. Is that God's power? No, I don't believe I have God's power.
That was all I was asking, brother.
Yeah, but sometimes semantics are.
It wasn't semantics, it's direct question.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be very careful.
It's a direct question.
Are you going? Go eat. Oh, okay. All right, let's go.
How you doing? You right?
Yeah, good.
Sorry, I'm staying over both.
We're coming as well then.
Because I need to leave this to Oxford Street.
Okay. All right.
So the point is,
Are you here next week?
the point